Hey Droogies, how's it going? Now, I got a treat for you. It's raining here, so can't really do too much outside, so I thought I'd do an absolutely epic cider review. As you saw from my last video, I was on holiday in Somerset, and went to a cider farm, went to this cider farm, or should I say, this one, and this one. All these three are from the same cider farm. This one is my all-time absolute favourite cider. These are from Somerset, these three. This one's Cornish. Some people say Cornish is better. All I know is this is the absolute best I've ever had, ever. And this one, hey look, it's got an airlock in it. This one's one of mine. So we've got a test and a half. Have to say, this one is my girlfriend's, so we're not going to be testing that today. This is the sparkling version of this one, the second one in. So they're basically the same. One's bottle conditioned and sparkling, the other one's still. Oh, and for those of you who are like me, cider has to be still. It can't be fizzy. Cidre, what's that shit? Sorry, but it's absolute bullshit. All of it is complete crap. Anyway, had a bit of this, as you can see from the level last night. Got a bit of the old cider hangover. Anyway, try this one. This one's got sulfides in, so it's not 100% natural, but it's more or less there. Tiny little bit of a tang in that one. This one's a mix, I have to say. This one's not a single apple. It's a mix of different apples, but it makes a very, very smooth cider. Now, this one and this one are in glass number 2. Now, this is a single apple variety, and it is called Red Streak. That's the variety of apple, and there's not much difference in these two, to be honest. A little bit darker, the second one. And I'm sure there are some Red Streak apples in this one too. But as I say, this is a single, it's like a single hop or a single grape. Single malt if you like the old whiskies. It's a lot sweeter, have to say. A little bit too sweet in my opinion. This one's still better. Very smooth, have to say. Yeah, a little bit too sweet. Now, for those of you that don't know what the cider farmers do, a lot of people ask on the forums, how do you make a dry cider, or sorry, how do you make a dry cider sweeter? Obviously, you put some sugar in, but that will ferment over time, so you'll end up with an even stronger dry cider. So what the farmers do, they put a bit of saccharin in. Either that, or they use sulfides to kill off the yeast, then add a little bit of sweetness. I asked this guy, he didn't really want to tell me, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure they added saccharin. It's been done for years, hundreds of years, shall we say. Okay, how do these compare with this beast? As I say, this one is the best, in my opinion, the absolute best. Yeah, still a still cider. Same colour, a little bit lighter perhaps. That's, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. If you can get some of this, and this is the Healy's, is it? Yeah, Healy's cider farm in Cornwall, pretty near Newquay, if I remember rightly. So it's not all the way down in Cornwall. If you can get to this place, try and find the dry cider. Don't mess around with the sweet one. Dry or medium dry. Get as much of this as you possibly can. This is the absolute best cider I've ever tasted. I've been saying that for, let me think, must be 15, 16 years that I first went to this place. Absolute best. And the guys in there are cool as well. Their slogan is legless but smiling, which always makes me laugh. Yeah, absolutely lovely, lovely. You got the apple taste, very smooth. This one's, I think it's about 6.5, is it? Something like that? Sorry, oh, got that one wrong. 7.5%, and it's super smooth. You would not know that was 7.5%. That's why this one's also a bit deadly. Because when you've had 2 pints of this, you try and stand up and you won't be able to. Absolutely legless. So, because it's Homebrew Wednesday, this one I've called Silas's Summer Cider. Try saying that after a few ciders. And that's this last one. Had a little glass in the fridge. It's not ready yet. As you can see, it's still clearing. Won't be ready until probably, well, maybe a couple of months. Say around Christmas time, I reckon. Maybe if I'm lucky a bit earlier. I don't put finings in my brews, well, not that often. Especially with ciders, I just let them drop out naturally. Of course, it adds a bit of time to it, but good things come to those who wait. Let's see how this compares. A little bit tart, have to say. Basically, all this is, it's a turbo cider. So that's shop bought juice. Put a couple of raisins in for the yeast nutrient, and I put some sugar in. Can't remember exactly how much because I didn't weigh it, and I just chucked it in. But I'd say maybe 500 grams, maybe something like that. This one I measured. It's this one's 8.5. So this bad boy is the strongest of the lot. But it tastes the same. It's absolutely super smooth. Tiny little bit more astringent than the others, but considering this, I'd say it's going to be about 4 litres by the time I'm finished. So what's that? 7.5 pints, something like that, of 8.5% cider, and it cost me probably, I'd say, £6 to make. £6 for, say, 6 pints, so that's £1 a pint of 8.5% cider. All of these ones are a lot more expensive, but they're making them from proper apples. I made it from juice. Hey, what can you do? I have to say, my one, it's a tiny bit more astringent, as I say, but it stands up against these ones, most definitely. I'd say, in order, this is the top, absolute best. This is absolutely the best. Then I'd go for this one, purely because it's a bit drier than this one. This one's a little bit too sweet for my liking. And obviously these two are about the same. And then obviously my one comes in fourth, but not by much. I say if you want cheap alcohol, forget about beer or wine, cider is the way to go. Absolutely easy. Just need a demijohn, airlock, shop bought juice or any old juice. Make sure it doesn't have the sulfides in to begin with, because some of them do. If you want to bulk it up a bit, add your sugar or your honey, as I've done in the past. Hey, cider. This one I haven't done that. This was a quick one with just normal sugar. A couple of raisins or yeast nutrient, bung them in, and you get something quite strong. Really superbly easy to make. Anyway guys, give me a big hug. Happy Homebrew Wednesday to you all. I hope you've enjoyed this. Been a bit rushed, sorry about that, but my battery's running out on my camera, so I've got to make it a bit quick. But look at all these, all mine, cider. Okay guys, take care, we'll see you next time.